1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
5, 6, 7, 8. Try your best to keep it straight.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? Because you want to... That's the one game you can't falter. You got to stand tall and straight.
Yeah. It's the only game.
The only game.
Where if you falter...
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're cooked.
If you can't stay straight, you're out of there.
You're out of there.
You're out of there.
Sorry.
Thumb wars.
Yeah. If you haven't picked up at home what we're talking about.
We're talking about thumb wars.
The infamous thumb wars.
I never really got into thumb wars as a child, I got to be honest. I don't know why. It feels like they were a larger part of people's childhood, but they were not mine.
Were people really into it? That feels like...
I got drafted into the thumb war, sweetheart.
Oh.
My hand needs me.
My dearest Doris, it is day 110 since I left you.
Jimmy's thumb remains very strong, but if it falters, we will be there. What is up, TJ?
Welcome to Cleveland Rocks.
It's a hot Tuesday in New York City.
Yes, it is.
The heat don't quit.
We got that heat dome.
Yeah, we do. It's all over.
Well, yeah, I guess it's done. We had a heat dome.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think very likely there will still be a heat dome whenever this comes out.
Whenever this comes out.
Yeah, it's just that hot. I think it's going to be hot all summer.
Hot boy summer.
Hot boy summer.
Just like they are in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did we just do?
Hot.
We just watched 2 more episodes of the Drew Carey show.
Season 2?
Yeah.
The Drew Carey show.
They're here. They're making big decisions already. We've got fun guest stars.
Oh, yeah. We actually, I
whole
didn't
kit
even
and
think
caboodle.
about that. Yeah.
We're making some big swings in this first episode that we watched.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder how long some of these, like, is this I think one of them is permanent.
I did a little Googling, and I think both of them are permanent.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Let's get to it. Let's talk about the first episode. So,
what?
Season 2, episode 3.
Well,
it's just called Break It Up, which I thought when we get halfway through this and you see the first puzzle piece, I was like, they're not really gonna. But anyway, we start with the promise that Drew set in the first episode of this season that him and Lisa are gonna move in together.
Yeah.
So we see Oswald and Lewis sort of like going through a list of things.
Yeah, they're just
that Drew
hanging
has.
out in his house having beers as they do, and then they see a list on his fridge of it's more or less the to-do list of things that him and Lisa need to get done. I guess Lisa hasn't moved in just yet.
And
she's
some
about
of them
to move in any minute.
Some of them are cutesy sort of things.
Yeah, one's like
share a secret. Yeah.
And before bed.
Drew is very clearly nervous about this move.
Yeah, he's so nervous.
Yeah. He's trying to make everything nice for her.
Everything's nice and like grandma.
Yeah.
Like he put
doilies.
He put
doilies galore
on the couch. He's got a bunch of fake flowers.
He's
he does
making
have, like,
potpourri.
posters now.
I didn't know you could make potpourri. I mean, I guess somebody has to make potpourri. I didn't know you could make it at home.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it wouldn't also cook a hot dog.
Yeah. I probably would have cooked a hot dog. I guess it would have been the nicest smelling hot dog you've ever had. The Oz or Lewis tries to boil hot dogs in the potpourri water that Drew's preparing.
I do like that Oswald doesn't understand coasters either.
Yeah, the idea of and there is a good zinger where Drew is explaining that you put the beer on there in case it sweats, and then Lewis goes, "Well, what do we put on you when you sit?"
Yeah,
because he's a sweaty motherfucker, I guess is the implication. Yeah. No, he's very clearly nervous about it. And then in comes Lisa. Jay is moving Lisa.
Jay's naturally moving her in. He has this giant. She has the world's largest cat tree.
I didn't ping Lisa to be a cat woman.
I had no idea that she was a cat person.
Yeah, and it really turns out she's not. I guess she is a cat person. She got that giant cat tree.
She's kind of an animal psycho,
Animal psycho is what I would say, because she's got the one cat. She has trained the cat to use the toilet. Yeah. So the cat's name is I have it, Mishka, I believe. It's a nice little Russian name.
Yeah, and I guess it's toilet trained. It doesn't go in a litter box.
Yeah, it goes on the toilet like a person, which Drew is insane about.
How would I feel about that?
I would feel okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like ideally you'd get like a place with 2 bathrooms or 2.5.
Yeah.
And then
the cat knows one is good to use, the other one's...
Well, just like I'd hate to like have to shit and then up the cat's in there.
Yeah.
How long's the cat gonna be?
And we
but
get
then
a
you
gag.
can just kick it out.
Yeah. It's a cat. It's not gonna... It doesn't lock the doors.
I was going to say, what if it locks the door?
It can't lock the door.
It can shit on a toilet. It might be able to lock a door.
Do they have... I guess they could hit the thing. I'm thinking they don't have opposable thumbs, but that doesn't really matter.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Their tongues, though.
You're saying you're going to lock up the tongue?
They have a lot of control over their tongues. Is my
Yeah. Just... I don't know about that one.
That's it.
Lisa also has, again, Animal Psycho. She's got 3 dogs. 2 of them are like family dogs that she inherited.
Chaplin and Stinky.
And Stinky.
Are the first.
Stinky goes right to lick Drew.
Licks Drew's face.
Drew ain't having it. I think he's a little too down on Stinky, I will say. But then
Stinky's cute.
We get the love of his life, which is Speedy, a disabled golden retriever, it looks like. So it's like a dog that's got like...
the wheel harness in the back.
Yeah. Like, what did I write? Oh, it's like a
very
walker.
Cute.
It's got hip problems.
And he walks in, and Drew's like, "Oh, a veteran."
Stand and salute for my man Speedy. I do like that she called him Speedy, or whatever.
That's cute.
It's a fun name. It's good. But yeah, so Drew has not only just moved in with Lisa, he's moved in with 4 animals.
Yeah.
His house is a bit of a zoo.
That blew me away because, they made this decision. They've been dating for a while.
They've been dating for months at this point.
I'm like, okay, he definitely knew about the cat, but I guess the dogs were her parents' dogs, and they just moved into a condo.
And then we don't even really know Speedy's background. It's just...
No, he just shows up.
Just there. Oh, yeah, I got this one, too. Yeah. I feel like that's something you should run by your partner before you move in.
We're gonna have 3 dogs now, and it's not even a temporary thing.
No, they're just gonna live here forever.
Again, with this show's animal budget, too.
Yeah. Well, we get there in the second ep, too. There's a crazy animal scene in the second ep that's just a gag, and I couldn't believe it. I think that's a bad sign for the relationship from the get-go, that she doesn't tell him about these fucking animals.
They're painting it immediately like this is
not good.
A problem.
Yes.
And like, look, we knew it. It was set up that way, even before Lisa shows up, when he's talking to Lewis and Oswald about it, like he's nervous, and he's like, it was my idea to move in. We had been fighting a lot.
Well, that's the whole thing is a Hail Mary effort to save the relationship.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the next day we get the titles. Then the next day at the office, Mimi's picking on Drew for seeing Lisa's change of address to his house. Classic ripping on him.
It's on Pig Lane or something.
666 Pig Lane. I like how she throws in a little satanic reference.
Yeah.
Drew's the
devil.
devil.
She is all about death.
Yeah. She really is, isn't she?
Some crazy shit.
She's got that bright face, but on the she's like dark and emo on the inside.
Her pitch to the board for the store was all
shop till
dark and disturbed.
Till you're dead. Yeah, shop till you drop. Yeah. She is a little mentally disturbed.
Anyway, he bumps into Lisa. Then Lisa shows up shortly thereafter in the office.
I loved this scene. They got nothing to talk about.
They have nothing to talk about.
It's crazy. He's like realizing that all of the things that he would tell her at the office, she's now there to witness at his house.
He was like, something happened. You did it.
Yeah. No, you were there too. Yeah.
And then she was like, there was something with the Xerox machine. He's like, save it for dinner.
Save it for dinner.
Save it for... Wow.
Yeah,
is that really what it's like?
They have such I hope not, man. They got such a thin little strip of life that they can talk about.
Oh my god.
It's kind of a shame. It feels like awkward and sort of disjointed. Like it's just writing is on the wall that this might not be going
terrible.
Well. And then we get Jay coming in. Jay decides he's gonna go have lunch with Drew.
Yeah, this was an interesting
He's got big news
situation.
Yeah.
I guess Jay just needs to ping pong some ideas off of Drew.
Yeah, he's got a business opportunity.
Yeah, business opportunity. His brother has asked him if he wants to invest in a Dairy Queen with him in Minnesota.
I don't know. I know all of Minnesota isn't cold. Who's eating ice cream out in Minnesota, though? Is it really...
Oh, I mean, come on.
I
man.
know. Maybe I'm just making a stereotype where I'm just like, you chose one of the coldest places in the country to run an ice cream store.
To do but you know what? It doesn't melt as quickly.
It's true. That is true.
It doesn't melt.
Also, who better to know cold treats than people in Minnesota?
They actually, I bet you it was invented in a cold state.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah. But, so he would have to...
I like Dairy Queen.
Yeah, Drew
My biggest
does.
problem is they don't fucking have one in Manhattan.
They closed the last one. It was like on the Lower East Side somewhere a couple years ago, 5
Mayor
years ago.
Adams.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this,
Listen, if we can't get the Drew Carey show back on streaming, I at least want one Dairy Queen in Manhattan.
Please. I would pay $20 for a Blizzard, and that's what it would cost. That's what it would cost.
That's what it would cost.
An Oreo Blizzard would cost $20.
I fuck with their food too. I know this is now going to sound like we're doing like
Chicken
SpawnCon.
tendies.
Chicken tender basket, man, it's so fucking good. It's so good.
They give you that toast.
Drew also loves Dairy Queen because Jay literally says it, and he just starts rattling off all of these different products, and he's excited at the idea of his friend running a Dairy Queen in a different state.
It's like you could wake up at 4 a.m. and you can just
have a peanut butter cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, I would have to move there. And he's like, better yet, live under the nozzle. True.
So, and then
priorities.
Jay's doesn't know if he wants to take it, but then if he does take it, what happens with his life out here? Does Kate move with him to Minnesota? Does he break up? Like, what, we don't know. He's pondering all these questions as well. It's a tough situation. I don't know. I've never been a businessman in Minnesota.
No, I've never had a single business opportunity
presented to you.
I don't count like work in job. That's not it. Like
somebody
applying to a job,
outside.
interviewing for a job, getting a job. That's different. Someone proposing a business opportunity to me.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
You got to strike it out in a completely different state.
Yeah,
but it's your brother.
But it's your brother, exactly.
Right. In this hypothetical, yeah.
Is he from Minnesota? No, he's from Cleveland.
No, he's from Cleveland. They went to grade school together.
I guess his brother just lives in Minnesota.
Sometimes, you just blow where the wind takes you.
God, but yeah, I don't know. Look, Kate's a nice gal and all, but he is just coming out of that divorce. It might be time for Jay to go.
Yeah, they've probably been dating for less than a year at this point.
Yeah, he needs to go figure it out.
Right.
He needs to be the best damn business owner, Dairy Queen business owner in Minnesota.
He can run the #1 Minnesota Dairy Queen. Yeah, that can be on his tombstone.
That guy would probably make a decent amount of money.
And you know what? I bet that guy's just happy.
Yeah.
Imagine you're an ice cream salesman. That's your profession.
God, yeah.
We're gonna see. He's gonna look like the Candy Man from Willy Wonka in a future scene. If we ever revisit Jay, he's just gonna be doing all this shit.
These
scooping
sort of like
it out. He's in pinstripes.
Ice cream man.
Yeah. The metrosexual ice cream. Yeah, with the rings, the earrings.
Rocking all this jewelry.
Yeah.
And he's like tanned and fit.
So.
Sorry.
No.
I keep saying everyone's tanned and hot.
No, go ahead. Keep talking about the metrosexual man that you find attractive. No, that's totally fine.
It's a horny show, right? Everyone else is getting horny watching this show.
We then go back to Drew's, and Lisa's dogs are just all over the place. Drew can't get into the bathroom because the cat's using the toilet.
Yeah.
And locked it. Mm-hmm. So I guess to your point, yeah, a cat could lock a bathroom. I don't know.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, no. Either that or he's just too polite to go in the room.
And Lisa's bopping around the house, and she's just humming.
Yeah, she's humming some song.
I don't know this song.
I don't know it either.
But
I'm sure it is not a real song.
She never gets to the chorus.
Yeah. She just keeps going, doing her thing. The dogs are following Drew because they know that where Drew is, food is.
Yeah.
Generally. They're all barking like crazy when Lisa, gets their bowls together. Drew just feels chaotic. It's no longer his house. It's a zoo.
Lisa also is a little disgruntled herself because she says that Drew woke her up in the night.
Oh yeah,
because he was talking and eating chips
in his sleep.
Yeah, he was eating chips, and Drew blames it on the cat, and he says, "I don't remember my cat going or like
I love my chips.
I love my chips."
Yeah. No,
that's cool new way to eat chips.
Yeah, just talk about the food that you eat.
I love my chips.
I would do that in my sleep. Not in my sleep. I would do that.
I don't eat in bed.
That's a weird rule you have.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
You eat in bed?
Sometimes.
Get the fuck out
if
of
the
here.
mood strikes me.
But you're going to get crumbs.
You know what else goes on in that bed, man? It's fine. There's a lot of stuff happening in that bed.
I don't know what else happens.
I don't know either, but I'm just saying, I think I'm not as concerned about crumbs. I don't like to eat in bed. That's not generally like it's not like I get a meal and I run to my bed.
Yeah.
But,
You get a big heaping plate of spaghetti.
Yeah, no, I'm not. The messiest food you can eat. I've got just General Tso's just quietly placed on my chest.
Yeah. No, definitely no rice in bed.
No,
I
no
would
rice
never
in
do
bed.
rice.
Yeah.
Even sandwich, though, it like falls out.
It's just a quick snack.
But like a chip, that'll get a crumb in there. I could do a dessert. If someone wants to eat cake.
Ice cream?
Ice cream
Ice
in bed?
cream
Ice cream in bed, of course. It's in a bowl.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, it's absolutely doable. Drew's fried. He's had
Yeah.
enough. He's like, I gotta go to the Warsaw, go see the guys. The guys aren't even there. He lies to Lisa just to get away to have a buzz beer.
Yeah. Also, do you notice this is the only beer they drink
Yeah.
now?
No, it's really, I think it solved a lot of branding problems for them.
Are they keeping themselves in business, I guess?
Yeah, you know what? If you are the bank and you keep taking out loans,
Yeah.
I think that's infinite money. I'm pretty sure.
He did, but you're right. The show solved the branding problem.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure.
No, it's a really good deal.
Yeah.
Like you said on the other one, we got to get Buzz beer shirts. They have to have sold shit. With Buzz beer.
I've seen some Buzz beer merch.
Yeah.
But to me, the one thing before he even gets to the Warsaw, I just like they have really made Lisa an entirely new person.
Yeah.
And it kind of bothers me because I loved her. I loved them.
But I will say
everything fades, but like she's like not. She has nothing to say anymore. She's just like nodding, and just like humming, and it's
she kind of is established as the nag now that she lives in the house.
I'm like, oh.
I will say they definitely did like with the animal stuff, completely recreate her into a different.
Yeah.
But we also hadn't seen Lisa like in a private outside of the office.
I guess we don't.
And that was by design in season 1 because
Right.
Drew was scared of a relationship.
But even up to like the last episode of season 1, she was just one of the fellas.
Yeah,
she was.
It feels like
hanging
she's
out,
not hanging.
cracking
There's
open
a
beer.
divide. There's a divide that they have made
Yeah.
between her and the rest of the gang.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because I thought I liked the relaxed, crack open a beer, make some jokes version of her.
Yeah.
And now that's gone. She's the nag, the stay at home with all the animal shelter that she's created.
With all of Noah's Ark.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, Drew was at the bar. He runs into Mimi and kind of like vents a little to her about his relationship woes. I don't know why he would ever do that.
That's how you know he's down bad.
Yeah, he's just talking to anybody who will listen.
He's talking to Mimi.
Yeah.
And she's like, here's what you do, kid. You just get in a car and you just drive until you find someone who gives a fuck. But apparently Mimi's at the Warsaw. I love this detail.
Oh, yes.
Mimi showed up because she's here with the band,
Yeah.
she said. She's a groupie for the Polka band.
And we turn around, it's a giant polka band. I can't remember the guy's name, but like the lead accordionist, she's like going crazy for.
Yeah.
She's
And then
like,
there's even a moment where these girls come over and start talking to the band. She's like, the polka sluts are out.
Yeah. The polka sluts.
That's good. The
I
polka
liked
sluts.
the line that reminded me. She was like, "If sex had a face, it would be that." And she's talking about the accordionist. And then Drew goes, "If disgust had a stomach, it would be mine." Or something. It's really good. Polka sluts. Could you imagine devoting your life to being like a polka groupie? No,
that rules.
Yeah, does it?
Look.
The lederhosen, just the lederhosen alone.
I don't think my aunt was a polka groupie, but my Uncle Louis had his own polka band.
Oh, fuck.
He had a polka band in the Pittsburgh area. He was like a child prodigy accordionist. And he was on TV doing like back in the day they used to do, like talent shows almost on TV.
Yeah.
And he was back in the day and he'd play accordion up there. And then I think the band was called the Blue Tones or something. But he had his own polka band in the Pittsburgh area.
And how young is he?
This was my godfather.
Is he like a teen when he's got a band? Or is he like
a
more grown
he was
adult?
like a more
just
grown
kept it up?
adult
Wow.
who just kept it up. He was, and he always played. When I was a young kid, he was a great accordion player. He'd play it, during the holidays and everything. The kids would sit around. He would play and everything. So he was good. But yeah, there were like photos of a middle-aged kind of version of him, maybe young adult, 30s, 40s, whatever, playing in this polka band. And then my aunt met him, I believe, my Aunt Karen.
Through a show?
Met him at a show.
Wow.
And danced with him at one of his polka shows.
I love that.
And that's how they fell in love.
Wow.
I believe. Now, I could be, if I have a family member listening to this.
I can't wait for somebody to write it and be like, none of that happened.
Correct me.
No, that's a lovely story, though.
But
wow.
they're both dead. God rest their soul. But yeah, it was the little polka romance.
That's lovely
in my family. And then when he died, I got his accordion. And I played a little bit as a kid, but I wasn't all that good.
You weren't a prodigy.
No.
You weren't gonna win over a polka groupie.
I didn't have those magic fingers. Yeah, I didn't have any polka groupies.
No,
I don't know if you could get a polka groupie these days.
I think they're a dying breed. I would say absolutely
that would be a tough pull.
It's like a polka groupie and a cat that can shit in a toilet are just two things that you're never gonna find. In
what would be harder to find?
Everybody else arrives to the Warsaw. Kate, the group. And they're all... Kate is there because Jay has summoned her there. Jay's like, I want to meet with you at the Warsaw. Are you around? He wouldn't tell her why. Drew, of course, knows it's about this business opportunity. And then everybody else decides, well, he must be proposing to you to get married before you guys move to Minnesota. Sure. I guess that's always an option.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, sure. If Jay's
know
gonna make
Jay, right?
Jay's gonna make like hasty life decisions all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Why not add another one?
It just,
marriage.
Yeah, noted womanizer Jay
that just got out of a nasty divorce.
Yeah. Just it seems like whatever. It seems like they're setting her up for failure with this one.
Yeah, they really did.
And unfortunately, they do because Jay arrives and shoos everybody out. And then him and Kate talk, and he talks about this business opportunity, and Kate's not even listening.
No, she's waiting. She's like pouncing on his every move that looks remotely like a proposal.
Yeah.
He gets down to tie his shoe. He's like, Jay, no. So, yeah, she's all amped up for it. Doesn't happen. He says, I'm moving to Minnesota.
And not only is he moving to Minnesota, he wants to break it off.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even want to invite you to come to Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to Minnesota.
Yeah. So that is the end. They break up.
That's the end of Jay. And then Kate starts counting down from 10 to like hit him.
Yeah. And he runs away.
He runs out of the room. And I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's presumably that's the last that we get.
That is the last regular season appearance of Robert Tortoise as Jay Clemens. I looked on the on the J Wiki, the Drew Carey Show fan wiki.
I like that it says regular season performance.
Right, regular season appearance.
But the postseason, he does come back.
He does come back in the postseason. Well, when they do the Drew draft, he's the guy that's picking out the balls with the numbers on it.
Yeah,
so everybody knows what cast member is going to be where.
Damn! Wow, that's really it.
Yeah,
we just lost Jay. Just a few words for Jay. He was cool.
I didn't understand the earrings.
Company. The earrings were a bit much.
No, it's not even that.
It was just a flair that didn't fit
with the rest of
anything else in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. May he find whatever he's looking for in life. At that Minnesota Dairy Queen, living your best life. It's surprising that they clearly introduced the character in season 1 being like, all right, we need more people. And then now, based on this, and again, where Drew and Lisa seem to be going, it's like, actually, no, we don't need that many cast members. There's way too many people. Yeah, we still haven't seen the neighbor in any of this. I really feel like they're I
wonder what happened.
They realized they needed to downsize the bitch. I haven't read anything about it yet.
Let's not read that one. We're just gonna...
Jules never went to that farm upstate. Yeah. We'll be like, yeah, Jules is still right there. And that kid. But anyway, so Drew, they call it off, and Kate is pissed. She's not taking it well.
So the gang they're in Kate's car.
Yeah, she's driving like a maniac.
Yeah, she says she drives to calm down, but she's obviously fucking amped up.
Yeah, she's angry.
Yeah. They talk about, I guess, let's stop by Jay's place, and we're like, is it going to be more of a drive-by? Like, they're trying to figure out... I don't really know where they're going here. And then at one point, someone's like, let's go to Oswalt and Lewis's place.
Yeah.
And then they're like, our place?
We never go to our place.
We don't even like our place.
But we end up at their apartment.
We finally see this
cooler heads prevail. And we end up at their apartment.
We got to talk about this
Is it what you thought it was going to be? I was like, when I saw the stockpiling of toilet paper, I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
When I saw the kitchen chairs were kegs,
You were like, yeah, I'm home.
I was like, okay, that checks out. My favorite bit they had here where they go through their voicemails.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, we haven't listened to this in forever. We have so many notes. Let's see. So Lewis goes to a pen and paper and Oswald hits play. And it's just the two of them going back and forth to messages. Hey, you want to go to the Warsaw tonight?
Hey, you want to go to the Warsaw tonight?
Hey, call me back. I wanted to know what you're doing tonight.
Maybe we should do something else tonight.
Oh, let's go to the Warsaw. Just back and forth.
But yeah, it is... I mean, it's like
very
dirty, bachelor pad, frat house.
Yeah.
There's like a cockroach in the bathroom, and it's
Lewis
on a
is
toothpick.
Lewis is doing some painting.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite note was when Kate goes to the bathroom and she goes, "Hey, Kate, seats on the wall." Yeah. Do they take the? Where's the toilets? What do you mean it's on the wall?
Seats on the wall.
It's That's
a good new gag.
Yeah, seats on the wall. Telling people
next
the
time
seats on the wall.
people come over, they're like, "Where's your bathroom?"
Yeah.
It's around the corner. Seats on the wall.
My second favorite bathroom gag. I love to do when you're in like a public stall. You ever get somebody that goes to open it and the door's locked and you just go, "Come in." I love doing it now at work. It kills at work.
That's good.
So that it was kind of exactly what I expected. We've known college apartments like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
My college apartment was kind of
a little like that. I think theirs is a little bit nicer than yours, I gotta be honest.
What?
Than the Gratz place?
Our place was nice. We just had like basketball jerseys on the wall. That was a bit much. We did have some ants in the couch.
Bro, you had ants living in the couch. I was gonna say, what the fuck do you mean? You didn't have any like novelty decor, I will say.
It made naps interesting. It was kind of like you were like on one of those pulsating chairs.
Sure.
Because you just felt like little.
Did you ever worry that like you would wake up at one point and like Gulliver's Travel style, the ants would have you tied to the couch, and you'd be like, "No, I'm stuck."
I thought you were gonna say all of a sudden I wake up, I'm in another part of North Philly. The ants have carried me.
They've moved you slowly. That would have been good. Yeah. God damn. Ants, man, ants spook me. And like it was a lot of ants. Like there was a nest.
There was I tried to look for them. You can't see them when you look for them, but there were a few times I would sit down on that, like towards the end, I would sit down on that couch.
You can't see them when you look for them, like they hide.
No, but then you'd sit on the couch, and if you were there for like half an hour, you start to feel them crawl up your legs.
Oh, fuck no, man.
The infamous ant couch.
Ugh. No, but anyway, so I will say, yeah, I think stockpiling the toilet paper makes it a nicer apartment.
Yeah. But I
you
will
guys always
say
have toilet paper.
So the reason that they're even at this house is because Drew does not want to go home. He's begging them not to take him home.
We've talked a lot about Kate and her kind of needing to cool down, but Drew also does not want to go back to the zoo that is now his house.
Things are not going well for him and Lisa.
So eventually Kate the guys stay at their apartment, but Kate and him start driving for hours. They're playing a game where she gives him a secret. I guess they bought every French fry from
every fast food place, Burger King, Wendy's.
She's blindly feeding him fries, and he has to name where the fry is from. I think I would kill in this game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I could clean up. Absolutely.
I could get McDonald's, but then everything else I don't know.
No, I think Burger King's
like I could
pretty
get Wendy's
distinctive.
too.
You could do Wendy's. I mean, shit, if you get like a Chick-fil-A, like that's just, different.
That's an easy one.
Exactly. I think I could do
Arby's,
that game.
that's an easy one.
Yeah, curly fry. Absolutely. I think I could play that game. But it's great that Drew's good at it, just not great that it's 3 a.m. and they're driving around Cleveland.
It's 3:30 in the morning, apparently. They're just driving around to avoid going back. Finally, he gets back.
Yeah.
And
Kate talks to him about needing open and honest communication in this, right as she goes to throw a baseball through Jay's window.
Right.
So, yeah, Drew does eventually end up back home, and he finds a note from Lisa that basically says, hey, I get the vibe that this isn't working for you. I'm going to go spend the night with my friend, and I'm taking the animals.
Yeah.
So Drew kind of like celebrates thinking that she's gone.
Yeah, he starts dancing around the house. He starts scratching his butt on the cat tree.
Yeah.
And
cat tree butt dance is a little asserting his dominance a little too late. He should have led with that, I think. The cat would have known not to fuck with him.
Not to lock the door when it's taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, Lisa hadn't left yet,
so she comes in down the stairs. Cat tree butt dance.
Yeah, and she, I guess she was also dancing. She says, and like things were not working for her
in the same way. Yeah. So it's I would say the show leaves it in an ambiguous place as to whether or not they split. What I will tell you,
I will say the last thing that they talk about, or the last thing that Drew asks for, is he's like, "Can I keep Speedy?"
Yeah, Drew gets the disabled
handicapped dog.
Yeah.
And yes, he gets to keep him.
Yeah, he jokes, sometimes you're nice to the crippled dog to win over the girl, but sometimes you're nice to the girl to get the crippled dog. So it's an ambiguous where they stand. You would think at this point this was their Hail Mary to save the relationship, so if this isn't going to work, it's probably over. And the Drew Carey fan wiki does say that it's the final regular appearance of actress Katie Silverstone. So there might be like a guest special appearance, but it's her final regular appearance on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, she only did in total, if you go to like her page, it's like something like 14 episods, I think.
You know what? I'm just realizing then all these people
16 episodes
who have watched this show.
Yeah.
I was talking so much about Lisa. They're like, oh, she's nothing.
Yeah.
She's nothing compared to the rest of this show.
Yeah. And now you know why, because she's only there for the first 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the first season and change.
Now, I will say, I don't know where or when.
She will be at work.
Jay comes back, apparently, at some point. It's a sad situation. She will be in the office, maybe. I don't know, but it says the last regular appearance. I don't know when it is.
I guess, maybe she'll just pop in once in a while.
Yeah. Ugh.
Wow, that's it.
Poor Drew.
And then the credit scene is really just Kate breaking
more
all
windows.
her ex-boyfriend's
Every
windows.
man that has wronged her, I think, gets a broken window in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And Drew's got like a little list. Are those, when they filmed those car sequences, there wasn't like studio laughter underneath it, I don't think, right? Because in the credit sequence, there's nothing. It's just them. It's almost like they're filming it on like a sound stage somewhere.
Yeah, they must be filming on a sound stage. I don't know. I see like sometimes in those what they do to get like for driving scenes. I know they did it in like Seinfeld. Was they would just set out chairs in the studio and they would read through it so that the crowd understood.
Yeah, what was going on.
But it's very obviously taped in another place.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just a fun little thought I had because I watched the credits and I was like, oh, there's no laughs on this. There might be laughs on it in the actual show. They might just insert the shot and the whatever. But
wow, rip to Jay and Lisa.
Yeah.
Especially Lisa. They did her dirty.
Yeah.
She was an excellent character. And then they were like, actually, we have to make you hate her, and then
we have to
away.
give you a reason to not like her, so that we can get rid of the actress that plays. I don't know. I
do like that. I hope Speedy sticks around.
Yeah,
I like
Speedy
that
does
Drew
at least for the next.
Now,
he owns a disabled dog. It rules.
Disabled dog. It is cute.
It is. It's a cute little older dog, and Drew. It seems very Drew Speed to have a dog that needs a walker.
Yeah. They have a dog that is fairly immobile.
Yeah. But yeah, big changes out the gate from this season.
Wow.
It's impressive. Yeah. Or just interesting, not even impressive.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on the set of the Drew Carey show in 1996.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we go to episode 4, The Bully You Know. Man, I love the guest star in this. We both applauded on our couch like a bunch of idiots.
We clapped like
we
a
saw
bunch
the
of
guest
fucking
star.
idiots watching this.
It's good though. It doesn't disappoint.
He's the GOAT. How can you not?
I know. So we open with Mimi on the phone at the office, and there's an older woman waiting at her like desk to ask something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Mimi's very rude to this woman who clearly does not understand how business
we
works.
should just say Mimi is Mimi to her.
Mimi's Mimi.
Yeah, just like
you know how she is at this point.
Yeah, just lots of attitude. She's done up in all her makeup and her ridiculous outfit.
Yep.
And
then in walks Mr. Wick.
Yeah.
And the woman that she's being very Mimi towards is his mother.
Yep.
You fucked up. You fucked up. So then Wick gets on her case, demands that she go home. She takes off her makeup. This is an office.
Right.
Dress accordingly.
Change your clothes. Change your attitude. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Or
or we're going to reassign you.
Or we're going to reassign you.
Mimi throws a fit and tries to, defend her case, saying, do you know how long it takes for me to get ready in the morning?
Yeah, I
and
love
everything?
that. She's like, I wake up at dawn to look this good.
Yeah.
Other people roll out of bed and
In
put
20
whatever they want
minutes.
in 20 minutes. Yeah.
So, no, that doesn't fly. And he reassigns her. He asks Drew what the worst job is in the business or in the office, and he says mine. But then we get a real answer, and it's going through the archives in the sub basement. No, I don't know what makes a sub. I don't know what that means. It's a layer before the basement.
No, it's a layer below the basement.
Oh.
So I believe it's like there's the basement, and then there's another like layer just slightly lower than the basement.
So we're sending her to the depths.
We do
of
get
hell.
to see.
We see the sub basement. Yeah,
and it is like an unfinished, gross place.
Yeah, it feels kind of like like an unfinished basement.
Yeah,
but I guess I didn't understand what the word sub meant.
I think that's what it means.
If any linguistics experts want to message us, let me know.
I like that they're. I love if people actually message us.
Hi, I don't like the show, but I do know a lot about etymology. And so anyway, she gets sent there.
Yeah, because she absolutely refuses to change. And you know what? Good for Mimi.
Yeah, good.
Good girl boss, empowering. I'm not going to change myself for you.
I was going to say good for Mr. Wick and asserting his dominance very early and being
that's
like, hey,
also, you know what?
This is my way or the
highway.
Everyone's
trying to make power moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we then get the titles. After that, we get the Warsaw, where Lewis is bartending.
Because he's just hanging out behind the bar because
Tim, the bartender, had to leave, and he trusted Lewis.
Is that his name, Tim?
Yeah, they say Tim, the bartender.
It's like, I need a responsible man behind the bar, and then Lewis is just taking shots.
Yeah, and then breaking glass. He tells Oswald to go pick a fight, so he has a reason to pull the gun. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, now Oswald's back there too, and they're having fun. Kate and Drew come in. Kate's like, I'll have a gin and tonic, and Oswald's like, what's in that?
Yeah, just, the two guys you definitely want running a bar.
Running your bar.
But don't worry, they can serve you some Buzz beer, baby.
Yeah, again, they're just cracking open more Buzz beers.
Yeah, the only beer in Cleveland, Ohio is the caffeine beer. Yeah, and then we get, Drew gets into a little bit of an altercation with the guy.
Yeah, he
who
bumps
wants
into some guy backing up from the bar.
Pick a fight with him, and another stranger intervenes and goes, hey, there's no need here, I'll buy you a beer or whatever. We then learn that they know that guy.
Yeah.
And we know that guy as Norm Macdonald, treasured SNL star, comedian. So good. He plays Simon
American
Tate.
Heel. Yeah.
Canadian royalty.
His name was Bad Simon Tate.
Yeah. He was their bully in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, he apparently did a number on them because even just looking at them, they're terrified.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember Oswald, and Oswald goes, does this help? And then he starts running in place and screaming as if he's running away from him. He goes, Oswald.
Yeah.
He calls Kate flat-chested.
Yes.
And then Kate makes a show to show that she's no longer that flat-chested.
Right.
So it seems like they don't like this bully, but this bully
Nobody likes this guy.
Nobody likes
Ryan's
this guy.
ready to fucking fight him.
Yeah.
He stands up to
But he's
sock him in the
changed his
face.
way, and he's big enough to apologize and to understand that what he was
says
going
his parents were breaking up.
Exactly. It was just emotions he didn't know how to grapple with. It's not an excuse, but, he's willing to kind of let it be water under the bridge.
And then he says, I would buy you all a beer. He feels so bad, but I don't have any money.
He's broke. He's desperately looking for a job. He's actually at the Warsaw not to drink, but to apply to be a bar back.
Yes, a busboy.
A busboy. He hands his resume over, and he goes, I think it went well. I think I got the job. I'm going to call Ma. And then we see Tim, I guess the bartender's back, by the way.
Yeah.
Tim goes, and he
throws it in the trash.
Throws it like a basketball shot into the trash can.
And Drew sees this, and he's like, and Drew, thankful that Simon just intervened in that fight, helped save his ass from getting in a fight just a few minutes earlier. It's like, oh, maybe he did change. And he's like, before you call your mom, how are you at typing? And he knows that, okay, he has to replace Mimi now. So he offers him
we need an executive
Mimi's
secretary job.
Yeah.
Would you be interested? And Kate kind of like chides him, but she goes, I'm going to be the bigger person. Drew always loves being the bigger person.
He definitely does.
Lives
physically and
physically and mentally, emotionally, maturely.
Yes.
So he
offers him the promotion. I guess Simon used to be in the Navy steno pool.
Yeah, so he could. Well, isn't that a girly job? And then they all back up. Yeah, it seems like a good fit. Did you ever have a bully in high school? High school seems like late to have a bully for me.
Yeah, I had bullies in like elementary school and middle school.
Yeah.
And then I even was like probably not the nicest kid in later middle school.
Yeah, I think I was the same in middle school. I was I was a bit of a bully to people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like I was bullied in elementary school to middle school, and then the tides sort of turned, and I bullied. And then once you get to high school, though, no one really. I feel like no one cared.
Yeah,
like it was just like
I think there's a little bit of a we're all in on
we're
the
all
same
in this
ship
together.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to get through.
Yeah.
And you already have like you're kind of. I feel like it's a lot more insular. You have your group of people that you like, and then the people you don't like, you just don't talk to them.
Yeah, you learn about just I don't have to fuck with you. Like you can just you can just kind of be.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never got into like any big physical fights. You're gonna be shocked, I'm sure, to learn.
You?
But yeah, I know. But I did have a move when I ever would get into a little thing or whatever. I would just sit on a person. That's when I realized I had my stature. You know what I mean? As a big guy, I could just sit on a person.
Yeah.
This isn't fighting. I'm like, yeah, fucking. I don't want to fight. I just want to get out of this alive.
I got in a fight one time at a sleepover with an old friend, Mark.
Nice.
Because he accused me of breaking his Halo disc. And in hindsight, it's like the most classic, you're in like 6th grade kind of shit to fight about.
Where are you going to get $35 to buy
get a
another
new Halo
disc?
And I just was so mad at him about that. And there was pushing and shoving and hitting. And then I think I just went home. I asked my other friend to have his mom drive me home.
There you go.
But that wasn't necessarily a bullying situation. Nothing ever physical was bullying. It was always just like verbal stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a point I remember I didn't want to like go to the bus stop in elementary school because like the neighbor kids were mean. It was like weight stuff or whatever.
Sure.
But then I don't know. Yeah. Then you make up for it. Then all of a sudden in middle school I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I'm the tough shit now.
You think that you learn the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, I learned exactly.
But we shouldn't. They've been dealt upon you so long that you start playing your own hands.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, this is an anti-bullying podcast. I think it's very important.
We always have been.
The only people we want to bully are the fuckers at WB who won't put this out.
Yes.
On streaming.
Bully them.
And I guess Mayor Adams. But Mayor Adams is not really bullying, it's a pleading.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm begging you.
Yeah. It's
not your fault we didn't have a Dairy Queen, but you know what? If you want to continue to be the mayor...
But unfortunately, it falls upon your plate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's imperative. Stop
your
going
cross
to
to
Rome
bear.
and just start stop going on international trips and bring the Dairy Queen to Lower Manhattan.
I wonder if they have a Dairy Queen in Rome.
He's just out there getting a blizzard.
Now this is what I'm going to Google for the audience.
Everybody's like, oh, you don't do your research. No, we're Googling how many Dairy Queens are there in Italy, in Rome, Italy. Like... We're doing the work, people. Don't say we're not.
Yeah. There's a Dairy Queen in Rome, Georgia.
Nope, that's not.
All right, different.
I'm going to Rome, Georgia. So, anyway, where the fuck were we? Oh, yeah. They give the bully the job. So, the next day, Mimi's still in the basement. Nobody can get a hold of her. Nobody's seen her.
I guess the only way in this moment, they reveal that they don't have a phone
in the sub-basement.
So
the only way to do it is via pneumatic tube. There's a giant, like, weird wind tube that goes from the floor that Drew works on all the way to the sub-basement. And that's how you communicate with Mimi.
Yeah.
Chuck's all terrified. The security guard's losing his mind.
Yeah, he's like, there's a disgruntled employee fucking with, like, she's in the vents.
Yeah.
And then at one point, all the lighting comes down. She's like, she's found the electrical grid.
All the mannequins, they're saying, have, like, weird
her
makeup on it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we see Simon at the job. Simon's already hitting off really well. He's been invited to go golfing with Mr. Wick.
Yeah.
And Drew's like, he won't even let me talk to him outside of the office.
Right.
So it's impressive. But Simon then feels that sort of top dog status that he had back in high school.
Yeah.
And he slips back into that bully shit. He gets right in the pocket.
There's a short guy at work.
They call him Pee-wee. They call
I
him
love the
Pee-wee.
idea that Drew's like, you shouldn't do that. Pee-wee's sensitive about his height.
Yeah, calling him Pee-wee. They, but Simon's there dangling paper too high that he can't reach, and he's dangling it too low and making him jump up and down. He's making this poor, like, foreign cleaning crew guy pay him $1 to go into Wick's office to clean.
He's like, and $1 to get out.
Yeah, and then Drew's like, well, just give him the $1 back. He's like, I'm not going to give him the $1 back right now. It's not going well for Drew.
No, and Drew is, I guess, getting on his case a little too much, and he's like, you trying to ruin my fun, Drew?
Yeah.
So Simon, they're butting heads a little bit now.
Absolutely.
So to get him out of there, Drew's like, let's go beat up the guy with the wandering eye downstairs. And Simon's like, I know the guy, and he runs. And then,
So that's how they got out of that. But again, you brought the bully back home.
Yeah, he's comfortable.
It's no good.
Nope.
So we then get another office sequence, and it's like Drew at his computer, and Mimi's on the computer, like a weird 3D rendering of Mimi, and they're calling it Mimi Soft.
It was giving me that. You ever see Jurassic Park and Wayne Knight's character is on the computer? It's like, you didn't say the magic word.
The weird animated, like,
it was like
jib jab mouth.
Right.
Mimi Soft, and it's like, press any key or whatever. And then Drew turns around, and Mimi's out of Wick's office with an alligator. A full-ass alligator on a rope.
That was definitely a fake alligator.
Was it a fake alligator?
Yeah.
I thought it was a real alligator.
No.
It
didn't move, and it had its mouth open.
Alligators don't move, and sometimes their mouths are open. What the fuck do you mean?
Alligators aren't mouth breathers.
No, I know, but,
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that was a real alligator.
I'd have to go back and look. The rips we have for this season aren't the highest of quality, I'm learning.
Yes.
But I thought it was...
They vary.
But I thought it was like, with the dogs in the last one. I was like, oh shit, they got a fucking alligator in the second one. You're telling me that was a fake alligator? You're telling me I can't tell a real alligator from a fake alligator?
Yeah.
God damn.
I really think that's fake. It looked inflatable.
It very well could be.
But
it was
really,
a good fake.
It really faked you
I would
out.
like to shout out the props and scenic folk because they fucking blew my mind with that one.
Yeah.
Had no idea. Anyway, regardless, there's an alligator there. Drew's terrified, and then we wake up, and Drew's in a dream.
Yeah.
He's having a work stress dream about Mimi, I guess.
But then he hears Mimi's voice.
Coming from the tube.
Yes.
They play Marco Polo, and he finds the tube.
And they start talking through the tube. They're fighting via the tube.
Yeah.
She throws something up that hits him in the head.
And he drops down hot coffee.
Yeah.
Hijinks ensue. She's not really... You kind of feel a little sympathy for Mimi in this situation because she's talking about how dark and lonely it is down there.
Yeah.
But as we'll learn later on, she learns to embrace the darkness and the loneliness.
So Simon then comes upstairs, and we find out that he's been stealing Drew's candy bars. So things have hit an all-time low for Drew.
Drew doesn't even have his chocolate.
No, he doesn't even have his chocolate. And then Wick comes by.
And we learn that he's not really a fan
Wick
of Simon
doesn't
either.
like it. Wick is now afraid of Simon as well.
Yeah.
He's so afraid that he will not fire him, and
He's
insists
making
that
Drew do
has
it.
to fire him.
I like that we don't know a lot about Mr. Wick at this point other than he's British and he's really a coward.
Yeah,
because
he's
he doesn't want to
spineless.
take any of the shit. He's making Drew sign these memos. He's making Drew fire the bully.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, I will say if Drew offered him the job, maybe Drew should also fire him from the job. I don't know.
Absolutely. Look, I get the reasoning.
Yeah.
And then, I think it ends with Simon rolling by in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. He stole somebody's... He's just... Poor. This is a really good Norm part. Like, I think Norm can play
Perfect
like
for
a
this
jackass sort of jerk like this really well.
Yeah.
And also play a guy that makes you think he's not that at the start.
Yes.
It's a good casting on this part.
Now, cut to the backyard. We are, there's Speedy the dog again.
Yeah.
There with Lewis and Oswald.
Yes.
And Speedy's meeting all the neighborhood dogs.
Yeah, they've gathered all of the other neighborhood dogs to meet Speedy, and they're trying to show, he's not that different from you guys.
Yeah.
So, and then,
they all go off and play, and
it slowly very quickly devolves into a dog orgy.
Yes.
There's
Doggy Caligula.
Yeah, they talk about, Speedy being able to hump just as well as the rest of them, basically. They didn't know that he could do that with that equipment.
I think they said it was 20 dogs having sex in the backyard.
And also, my favorite little tidbit is none of the owners know.
No, they're all outside his house wondering where the dogs are.
Yeah, and Lewis goes, well, we left notes with the cats. I guess it's perfect. Yeah, so Drew kind of vents to the guys that they're going to, have to let go of Simon.
And that he's going to have to do it.
Yeah.
And Drew's obviously scared, so then they start talking him up.
Yeah. Like, you can do it, it's not like this is high school anymore.
Yeah, and they're like, bullies are just insecure people, and like Simon's actually scared of you.
Right. They flip it.
Yeah.
The classic logic.
They got Drew's confidence up.
Yeah, so then the next day, Drew goes in, he talks to Simon, and Simon tries to charge him $1 to talk to him. And he goes, no, listen, I'm not going to let you, he stands up to him, and he goes, you're fired, this isn't going to work out, you're not being nice to people.
Yeah.
And Simon just beats the piss out of him.
Absolutely crushes
throws him down. Well, the next scene we see is just Drew rolling down the stairs into the sub-basement.
Yeah.
He kicked him so far, he went down to hell.
Yeah, he went to the basement and then the sub-basement.
Yeah.
And now he's in the basement, the sub-basement, and it's obviously there's a bunch of mannequin heads down there painted like Mimi. This is Mimi's lair, right?
Yes.
And
she's
you
turned
hear
it into
organ
her own
music playing.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I thought she was playing the organ.
I did too.
Because then we see her and she's like typing away, but it's just a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Drew and Mimi then come face to face, and she's like, Pig, why are you all beat up? And he's explaining his situation, and then I'm confused on how we get to this very end, but you know what it was? It's because she feels like disrespected.
Yeah, she feels like nobody understands what it's like to feel like a leper.
Yes.
And that she's like this eyesore for everyone.
Yeah.
And so Drew sits down to kind of relate to her, tell a bit of his past, and he's like, you're wrong, Mimi. I understand. Here comes compassionate Drew talking about when he was a kid and some of the plays. I think the one thing in one of the school plays he was going to play a bishop, but none of the robes fit.
Yeah, he couldn't fit. He couldn't be the shepherd in the nativity scene, so they put him in the sheep costume.
Yes, but somebody cut the ass out of the sheep costume,
so his bare ass is showing the whole time on the stage. And he's like, and I've never told this to anybody else, so it's like a personal one-on-one sort of thing.
And we come to find out that as Mimi was leaning in to listen to Drew's story, she was purposefully leaning on the intercom.
Yeah, so it's going out to the whole office
fucking
that
office.
Everybody's hearing about Drew's with his ass out in a sheep costume. Yeah, and then that's kind of how it resolves, I guess.
Yeah, that's just it.
Mimi
Mimi's
comes
back upstairs
up because we have to give her to Simon.
Because we did hear Wick earlier when he said he doesn't like Simon. He's like, bring Mimi back. Simon screwed up all the files. I don't care what she looks like. We just need her back.
Yep.
So Mimi, invaluable piece.
Mimi's
she knew
back.
her worth.
And then the credits scene is Mimi trying to fall asleep, and she's counting sheep, and the sheep are Drew Carey with his ass hanging out in a costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice little staple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed Norm's performance.
Norm.
Again, just the whole, sort of we're exploring more. I feel like with season 2 we're able to get to like more places, this weird basement setup that we've got.
I mean the set's just getting bigger and they're just having weird, wacky Looney Tunes like fun.
Yeah. It's getting cartoonish in a very fun way. But yeah, and I also, just the goodbyes of our relationships. I guess that clears the way then for more dating hijinks in the future. Which is fun when you have such a young sort of.
You knew whenever they were going to live together, it was never going to work out.
Yeah.
And that was probably going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
Because
it's a big swing. I remember saying that.
Of Drew's just bachelor lifestyle.
Yeah. I remember saying it too. I remember on the last step that like it's a big swing to like just this is my Hail Mary to save my relationship, and you never know if it's going to work. Sometimes she's an animal freak and it don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just has 3 new dogs now.
Yeah. And one of them's on wheels.
I love that. That's going to be our lasting memory of that. Hopefully Speedy's around the whole time.
I hope Speedy's there until the end of this show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Statistically, I don't think dogs live
make
8
it that
years,
long.
if they're already like 6, but maybe. That'd be nice. Oh, goddamn. Well, thank you for listening to this podcast. We appreciate you. Follow us, the shit on Instagram. Yeah, we love you.
We do love you.
We're on Instagram at Cleveland Rocks Podcast. You can email us at clevelandrockspodcast@gmail.com.
Follow us.
Follow us. I don't know. We're on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're out there.
We're on the accounts. Follow us on the accounts. Follow Drew Carey.
Follow Drew.
Yeah.
Tweet at Drew. Tell him he's got to listen.
Yeah, tell him he's got to listen to this show, please.
Tell him all the things you're learning about him on this podcast.
Yeah. Tell him, if you could just tell him that we've said he was hot in like that last episode, I think that would help a lot.
Yes.
He looks like he's lost a lot of weight in 1996.
It is crazy though. He does but then he loses so much weight post this show.
It's crazy.
And he has that like era in the Price is Right era where he's wearing those like really rectangular glasses and he's like got that long blonde hair.
And now he's got the beard now. There's a whole lot of evolution of Drew.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, tell him we think he was hot in 1996 and he should come talk to us.
Yes, he should come talk to us. Please, Drew.
All right. Catch you in the next one.
Later.
Bye.